All right, enjoyers of mediocre at best, somewhat obscure card play. We're doing draft. We have the gold to do it. We have the time, I think, and I hope. So let's go ahead and hop in and see what we do. We've kind of been on a cold streak recently. I have had so if you watched any of the recent drafts, you would know that I've just not had the luck when it comes to the U.S. I don't know if the solution is to play it more or go with Germany. I think, though, just for now, we're just going to go with Germany. We are using Cookie's recommendations here, so the fault is all mine, but I'm recommending it as a source that helps, and hopefully that should move us through our draft and make it a bit more productive. All right, and with pick one, I like Blackout because, I mean, it does draw you a card, but Breakthrough has the better rating, and I kind of see it. Like there might just not be great plays with this. It's still card draw. I know it is what it is, but this is direct damage, and you potentially get to operate for free. So I feel like that's not bad. My initial assessment is probably that the Flame Panzer is probably the choice here because you could destroy something. But let me see. So it may be against it's against the recommendations, right? This comes up with a C and this has a D. I'm gonna go with this one anyways. I do like the card draw off of it, and I'm not sure if the other things made it worth it. See, missing show you don't hate that, but you could also hit nothing on that. It might not be the card you want to hit. Bypass deal damage. I think when I looked this one up in the past, it was bad. This one might be the one, and now I feel bad I didn't take the tank in the previous pick. If only you knew. So I think the 3F and missing come in at the same ranking. Bypass is lower. I'm going to go with the unit this time. I don't want to overdraw of these. I don't know if I'm supposed to go with Italy here, and I've gotten burned with the U.S. before. I actually like Britain in constructed, but we'll see if the U.S. can offer anything. Yeah, we'll see what we get here. Excuse me. So I don't really like this only because I don't know what covert I'm getting. I like the repair, but I think it's hard to go against the blitz plus the outrage redistribution. How about not redistribution? I think again, I don't hate any of these. I'm kind of inclined towards Firebomb, though. This actually gets rid of the unit. All right, so I both Firebomb and Death from Above are rated A. I'm going to go with Firebomb because I don't like the randomness. This is a great card when there's one really juicy target and it's the only thing it can hit. But if there's like garbage and a good card and this hits the garbage card, it feels bad. So we'll go with Firebomb. We'll see if we come to regret it. I'm inclined to take whatever this is, the 15th, over the Panzer 1 Duck. This is good if you know you're going to get a lot of veteran. Right, if you're pretty much playing like light tanks, or anything that can go veteran. It's not just light tanks. That there are other German cards here, but I've had good luck with this one in the past. It tends to be 2 cards for one. Some people don't like it. I get it. It's fine. Give target unit plus. So I'm not going to read the rating here. I'm going to go with a bridge too far. I don't know that it's as rated as highly as I think it ought to be, but I do like it. Run the Battlefield is. I wouldn't want 3 of them. I don't know if I would want one of them, and with the picks we've had so far, I'm not loving them. I like both of these. I'm not actually going to look at the recommendation, so I might be getting the recommendation wrong here. I get this. It's a 1-1 with Blitz, but I'm just going to go with the Panzer Grenadier. So with these 3, the actual rating is kind of related to what I thought. I don't mind the SBD3 at all, especially if you just hit it on turn 3 and the other side doesn't have removal, right? With that heavy armor and 3 toughness. Yeah, it's got 2 outcosts, is rough. But Blitz Doctrine creates stuff, right? So it's 2 credits, you develop a German light tank, and then you get Contest Doctrine. The Alpine card is good in and of itself because it can't be targeted by enemy orders, but if we don't know if we're going to get other Alpine, it's probably just a 3-2 that can't be targeted by enemy orders. And then you'd probably wonder, like, why would the enemy even try to target it with an order? So I don't know. I'll check the ratings on these. So I think Careless Talk is okay, but if you can kind of read that it's coming, you can usually not lose a unit to it. 8th Marines, they get +2 attack. Think about that maybe in a Soviet, one of the Soviet constructed decks. But I'm inclined to maybe this one. But let me check the ratings and see what the recommendations are. All right, so the recommendation here is actually Careless Talk comes in at a B, and I think the other two are C's. I misread this. I looked at the picture, and I thought it was a bomber, and so I thought you would get a 4/4 bomber for 4, right? So it's get around retaliation easier. But we'll go with the recommendation here on Careless Talk. I don't know if I'm getting a little. I feel a little too removal heavy here. Sky Barons is good if it gets a target. Otherwise, it really ends up being a dead draw. This, so the most highly rated one by a fair margin, I think, is Sky Barons. It comes in as a B. I think this is like a D, and this is like an E. So it's not very high. We'll go with this. I have recalled complaining about how much air we tend to see in draft. I don't know why. Because I was losing to it. That's probably what I was complaining about. My initial assessment is that it's the Panzer 38. I don't even think I'm gonna. Will we have enough air units to make this worth it? Well, at the moment, it doesn't look like it. So I think we're just gonna go with the card draw. I mean, the suppression is not bad at all. Now, we had a Panzer 3F before, your German tanks. So, we're getting other German tanks in here. And so I don't hate that. I don't hate the Jaeger Regiment at all. This one I'm actually familiar with from playing it a lot in Constructed. So all these get the same C rating. I'm going to lean towards this, and maybe we're looking for German armor in this deck, in which case the Panzer 4F would be the best. I actually think that this is, potentially a good later game play, but do I want 4 of them with 4 op cost? It seems like a heavy investment. So I didn't look at overwhelming force, but Panzer 4F comes in with an A rating. It plays into the German tank theme, and the 4th Marines were a C. So we'll take 1A over 4 Cs. I know Air Blitz is pretty... I don't think I want it, but Maelstrom... in this deck, we don't really have anything that's going to go veteran. So unless we take this as something that we're playing from behind in, I don't think I like that. And then maybe the least bad choice here is the Nebelwerfer, which is, before I look at its rating, it's okay. So I guess I understated it a little bit when this comes in with an A rating. I actually didn't even look at Maelstrom. I guess I could do it while this is up. So Maelstrom comes in at an A rating as well. I know Air Blitz was lower from looking at it before. I mean, this can be a board clear. We're playing some countermeasures. This doesn't really... Yeah. It just looks like we're going to have other earlier plays, and we should look at our curve here. Even though we're only 18 cards in, but we're just about at the halfway point. I feel like this is better. If we get a whole bunch of veteran cards, it's going to feel like I whiffed on that one. But okay. So I've had the Jag-D Panther before, and I think it's been okay. Again, if we're playing with the German tank theme, then I would say definitely maybe. If you can get it into the front line, it's pretty nasty, right? Because they have to have something big that can push it out. Though at 3 toughness, it's probably pretty easy to remove. The 39th Panzer Grenadier, I think, is pretty good. If you can get something in the front line, being able to swap it so quickly. I'm inclined towards the Jag-D only because of the other cards that we've had, in particular the Panzer 3Fs. Yeah, so I didn't look at supply chain. Yeah, I don't know that we're going to be able to discard it. So they both come in at C. And again, because this is kind of playing on the theme of the tanks, it seems like it's pretty good. Now, we know what this is. I think this was a C when we looked at it before. Move a friendly... unit from the battlefield, then return it and give it Blitz. I'm not sure what the rating on that is. This feels like it's, excuse me, just like I mean this in a nice way, like a solid nondescript card that just does a thing if you can get to the front line. But I don't know that I want 3 of them. Yeah, so all these are kind of in the same ballpark. The ME and the 361st are C's. Rapid engagement comes in with a D. Looking at our curve, we seem pretty good already at the 3 slot. I don't know that we want to slam down 3 more. So why don't we just go up, get some air going, because we don't have a lot. Well, now we're seeing a lot of Alpine. This feels like a, you know, so we don't have to look at. I feel like this might be the least bad, and at least it'll be somewhat useful in a lot of these. It's hard to tell how much Alpine we're really to expect, but we have a fair amount of removal so far. Yeah, so the rating on Eagle Claws is an A, and the Gebirgsjäger, whatever it is, gets far less than an A, gets an E. So even with 3 of them, I think we're going to go with the 2 Eagle Claws. I know it's not this. Admiral Hipper, very good. Plays into the tank theme. I don't know, what is the veteran version? Veteran, Blitz, and Shock, and it has 0 up costs when it gets to be vet. This is actually a tough one. I think Admiral Hipper is an A. I'll take a look. I don't know what this is. This one, if it's a little bit lower, I might go for this just to stay on the German armor theme and give more targets for the Panzer IIIF to hit. All right, so both Hipper, I was wrong about Hipper, that's a B, and the 3J late are Bs. So I'm going to go with the Panzer 3J just because it works into that theme. And here, it feels like none of these are great. And we may just go for the cheaper option because we don't have a whole lot proactively to do on turn 2. This is not, excuse me, that one caught up on me, or stuck up on me. We'll check the rating on these, but I'm inclined towards choice C here. So yeah, both this and this come in at C's. So I'm gonna go with 1, and just hope that we get something better. Now, if I remember from, so this I don't hate, right? Because it's gonna be all units, and your HQ plus 3 defense. This actually, we have probably enough things that we can make that work, but I'm thinking probably the Panzer IIIe. Other friendly tanks with Blitz have +2 attack. I don't know it's going to hit all of those, but if we have a certain density of tanks, we can make this work. So the Panzer IIIe is rated a C, and we can do it. Comes up as a B. So we don't have a terrible amount of card draw in here. Right, we have a little bit there. We have some card creation. I do like the Panzer IIIe just for another target. I mean, some card creation there, but I'm worried we don't have enough card draw. And so, unfortunately, we got to pass on that nice piece of German armor. Now, the thing about Battle Valor, I think it has a bad rating. I think, but I haven't seen it that much. So it's got an E rating. There actually is like one really good veteran, like a very good veteran target for it. I think the easiest one is the Panzer 1B gives us something nice to do on turn 1. Though it always feels like it's a bit of a dead draw if you don't have the front line, but you can keep doing that. I don't know. This is probably the right play. I mean, for Chuckles, we can see what their ratings are, but the not the awkward YouTuber. That's me. 15th Okay, so that is an A, and so then the Panzer 1B comes in at an A as well. So again, if we knew that the veteran theme was going to help us a lot, we would go for it. But I think I'm just going to go with that. It has card creation. We don't have a lot of Shermans. We're unlikely to get it. I don't think Bypass is a good card. This is a good card. I can tell you from having played it, I'll look at what Cyclone Division gets, because it is absolutely big boy. So that's it. That comes in as an A, but I think Annihilation comes in as an A as well, just from having looked at it before. It's also an A. And we just, when you have to deploy 2 Shermans, I just don't see the Shermans, and after this we only have, 11 picks left. So I think we go with Annihilation. This is unfortunate. Because I don't have, I'm not even going to look at the ratings for this. I'm going to go with this choice C here. It's been a fine card in the past for me, and it's something that you can actually play on turn 1 as we look at our curve. We want more in the 4 and 5 slot. Again, if only we knew that we were going to get more Shermans. We have a lot of decent enablers of Shermans, but not a lot to do. I think we just go with the Panzer 38T. It gets, I forgot I actually do have card draw from all of those. I feel like the ratings are going to recommend one of these two, and I kind of like them both. This one seems like it's probably more predictable to get something. I mean, there's a chance this just comes in as a 3-3 for 3. I don't mind ramping up, but I don't, it's not constructed, so I'm not sure that we're going to get the payoffs to make that work. But we do get card draw from it. All right, this might not be the right call. So both of these come in with B ratings, choices A and B. I'm going to go with the 11th. There are a few units here that have some toughness that might allow them to, trade early, and then they need a repair. And so those might be the repair outlets. Oh boy. I'm immediately drawn to this because I know it's a 3-2 body for 2 that's going to give me a countermeasure. I don't think I want this, and I'm really skeptical that I'd want 4 of this. I actually do have a fair amount of card draw. I'm not going to look at the recommendations. I'm just going to go with 2 of those. Ooh. So the payoff here isn't really going to do anything, right? We know we only have a few picks left. I know that we have a lot of 3 cost, but this is also a tank that can work with our other tank thing. The only other thing I wonder about is how this is. I've played with this once. It's all right, but I'm leaning towards B here now that we know what we have. So the rating here on the Stug 4 is pretty lowly D, and the Heinkel comes in at a B. I guess I kind of get it. I'm gonna go against the recommendation only because of what I think is in here. Focused attack actually might work in this deck because we have at least 1 artillery piece, and we know that we have a small number of fighters, but I think it is a small number of fighters. It's mostly, I think, armor here. I'm inclined towards Stars and Stripes as a one of, and I'm not even going to look at the recommendations. Maybe it's my fault, but reduce its cost by its operation cost. So that would be good. We have a lot of 2 op cost stuff, but then it ends up becoming, right, not sure what the right call is here. This seems like the simplest one. This is another one at the 3 slot. You can see that we're kind of overloaded at the 3 slot, but we don't really get a choice for more than that in this pick. Yeah, so none of these come in terribly highly rated. The P-40 Warhawk, I guess, is tied with Gunship Mission. We'll go with the Warhawk just to make sure that we have a lot of orders already, or at least a fair amount. I don't know. I don't think I want a 3rd Eagle's Claw. We don't have. What are our 2s? So we actually have some good 2s. I was thinking about this as a second one of, to get something out early that can soak up some damage. So Eagle Claws is rated A, and these other 2 are C's. I would like this as a repair target for the 11th. I think it could work that way, but it's hard to pass up something else that's rated A. So we'll go with it. Ooh. This is our last pick. Now, we've done a lot in the German tanks. Reduce damage to this unit by 2 for each adjacent unit. I'm not sure about that one, but all right. And then we know what Admiral Hipper is. It is just fine, but maybe this is a fast Heinz. All right, so the recommendation is this is an A. The second choice B is an A. Choice C is a B, and then fast Heinz is at the low end. We'll go with the recommendation this time. I can see why it's good, and so now we'll just test it out. 12 orders seems like a lot. We're a little light on early playables. This has been a consistent problem in my decks. It's just I tend to see more powerful cards usually paired off with them, and so I tend to go for those at the neglect of some of those 1 and 2s. Hopefully things like Eagle Claws, if we do fall behind and the other side has a stacked backline, hopefully that allows us back into it. It felt, after I looked at the cards, it felt like we actually do have a fair amount of card draw and removal, and then we have German tanks. So we'll try to ride those for what they are worth. Yeah, I mean, as opening hands go, I think we got to be okay with this. We don't have that many. I think 10 cards or 2 credits or less, so about a quarter of our deck. And we're going up against Soviet Britain. All right. Well, they beat us to the punch there. Okay. They don't have an air unit yet, so we'll play this. Uh-oh. Oops. I should have looked at my options, but I didn't. Too used to constructed and not playing this card, so we just kind of do our thing and then go. The enemy gives an order, deal damage to issue. So yeah, if we had intel, this might be a good one to play for later, but we'll see what they give us. It might have to be another one of these and then just attack into this to take the pressure off our HQ. If they buff this and then they do the Fury thing, we're in trouble. So it looks like they're trying to decide if they want to use removal on me or if they have enough to buff this and kill it. I'm not sure. I mean, they can build up their defense here to more than 3, and then they can trade. So that is a weird thing, right? Like, and I've noticed that before. Shouldn't I have been able to attack back? But then nothing happened. So I think rather than stranding the credit, we're just going to play this out. It's just a very vanilla 2-3 tank that drew us a card. And we'll play from there. All right, so we actually have a good target for Sky Baron. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The problem is if we play it, we're not going to be able to draw our next card. Do we have any way around that? I don't think so. And I think we kind of just got to do the thing. Because I don't want to be taking that double damage. And that's not a bad draw. There probably aren't that many cards. I'm not going to finish that sentence, but we're going to have to discard, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. So unfortunately, that was everything. If I remember, the Soviet covert card is actually, that's fine. I'm fine losing that. This is one that gets better over time. And so we just want to try to hit it now so we know what it is. Yep. So if that had stuck around longer, we would be in some trouble. I didn't want to strand the credit before, and I don't really want to do it now, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got to get cards out of our hand. So we can't keep drawing cards. It's a Oh, okay. Yeah. That works for me. And the enemy gives an order. You know what? Let's keep this up. What else are we going to do with 1 credit? I don't know what kind of orders they have, but we will find out. So I guess they're Soviet British some countermeasures. Okay. All right. Uh, Now we don't want that thing to retreat, right? And I feel like we want to move this first in case there's... Well, they don't have the German countermeasures that we do. So, do we play the Jag D and just strand a credit? I think so. I think so. And we'll see what they have. That could have been a first responders there. I didn't look at their credit total at the end of their turn, but it looks like they were holding back for something. Oh yeah, and we didn't put this up. Yeah, we should have put this up. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens now, but okay. I get it. I do. Now, if we stars and stripes them, we can kill that, put 2 damage onto that, and then we can just trade out of that. But, oh. It's not terrible either. I think we generally want to move this up. Gets blitz. We could act... Oh, well, they got the guard up. So it wouldn't do us too much good to do that right now. What do we want to do? I say we play the artillery out. Yeah, we'll do that. And we'll kill that. They can get their thing. That's fine. And we'll leave that up. And hope for the best. Yeah, we know that they got the blitz tank. So what they could do is just sacrifice this, use up the ambush, and then take it, and then trade with the blitz tank. That does work. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Okay, we got 8 cards in hand, so we're going to draw the 9th. But we do have some... Wait, we have card creation here. We have card draw for this one. We'll see. This has a 1-up cost, too. So they probably have... I think they have to run this in, don't they? Oh. I'm not even sure what I just killed here of mine. So with 4 credits, we'll see. If it's a covert, we can't stars and stripes it. Oh. Oh. Yikes. That was well mathed out. Very nicely done. What do we want to do? Yeah. I guess we do this. Don't hate it. And then we're just going to get rid of those. So we know that they have the 5/5 blitzer. They're probably looking to put that down. Maybe I should... Well, I couldn't have played a bridge too far if we didn't have the other things. Yeah, that's understandable. All right. So... I think we just trade here. Yeah. And then we... So if we jam these guys up in the front line... or would we rather play something? I'm going to play something. Just in case they have some big hitters here at the end. I mean, they know I have countermeasures. Okay. We haven't gotten the armor payoffs. That's a nice card. It's a rough card to lose. Okay. So, I think we do this. And then, what do we do? Move this up, and then Blitz Doctrine. Yeah, that's a fine one to have. Bombers you deploy. Deal their attack to a random enemy. Nicely done. Glad it wasn't more. Deal 3 damage to... Okay. Still works for me, man. I think they have to kill both of these. Actually, they have to kill this. Well, the guard can hang around. So if they have just straight up removal, they can do that. That's fine. Yeah, but they don't know about the Panzer there, so. Well, it's not a guard. And that'll do it. That's right. That's another reason we should have played Germany, I guess, is because I'm really far behind on Germany and the US because I just haven't found constructed decks I really like. There was a German... I forget who the ally was. German something one. I don't know if it was the Brits or Soviets or somebody, but it was based on veterancy, and it was kind of fun to play around with, but didn't hold my interest. All right, too early for that. Too early for that. I don't... Now, they might play ground units early. Yeah, they might play ground units early. All right. So this, I think we want to probably play later when we have stuff to operate. Yeah. Okay. So if they play a lot of light infantry and it's sitting on the back line, then it's easy to Eagle Claw that out. But we'll see what they have. Because we may just want to get the Warhawk down and then start going from there. I mean, I can make it look like I'm thinking about things, but I'm not. I don't think the head games work too well in this game, so... Or do we want to save the Warhawk for something else? I don't know. It just feels bad using Eagle Claws on a pair of 1/1s. Using Eagle Claws on that, I don't hate as much. Right? But it's still able to attack. +3 attack against ground units. Oh, that's not the one that deals damage when it comes in. That's right. So I think we play this out, right? Unless they have a way to kill it. I think that's the call. But we very much may struggle against. This is a very aggro deck, it feels like. Yeah, it is. And we don't have enough to double Eagle Claw that. Let's see. This has ambush. And it would trade with that. So I think we... What does this do? Deal 3 damage to a target? Yeah, I think we're still off of being able to kill it. And if he does, I'm coming for it. He's going to use it, and we don't really want him to use it, so... We'll see what we get here. Oh. Oh, that's right. It went up to a 7-6. I forgot it was going to do that. Yeah, I don't know what the alternative is going to be. Huh. Sometimes you do have all the cards. It's true. Um so we could trade with that. Well, we won't trade straight up. We'll have to do 2 for 1. This would repair it, but that doesn't really help us. And we don't have enough to do with Eagle Claws. So oh yeah, ambush doesn't matter for that. Unfortunately, this is just... There was no 1 damage option I see here where we could have done anything about that. So yeah, against these very aggro decks, we are going to suffer. And if you got some SU-76s and you're drawing them, you are lucky. We have no guards, unfortunately. We could play this down, but it only causes them to retreat. Doesn't do anything else, and so we don't... Okay, so this... Oh, it's only for air units, that's right. I mean, this buys us a little bit of time, but not really, because it has 1-op cost. So I think this is going to be an L here against the Soviet Rush, which I don't think anybody was expecting. But it's, you know, a good reminder as to as much removal as I thought we had in this deck. We don't have quite enough to deal with 4 toughness things, unfortunately. Yeah, goes up. Sometimes you just have all the cards. It's too bad the Eagle Claws only hits the back row, right? So that doesn't matter, does it? None of this stuff matters here. Oh, I did that wrong. I should have repaired it and then put 1/1 on it. I'm not sure why, but I should have. Yeah. Yeah, it's rough that we don't have any guard here. So that's too bad. I feel like this deck was probably the strongest one I've drafted in a while. And to just get run down by Soviet aggro, right? Who's expecting that? But it happens. Usually I expect that kind of game to be like, if we had won our first couple of games, that would be the deck we would see like game 3, game 4. But no, that was game 2. So maybe this will be a short video to make up for a fairly long draft session and a long game 1. We'll see. All right, so there's a turn 2 play. So I'll do this, but I don't want to play this on turn 3, right? We want to do other things. So I'm a little worried that we don't have a good turn 1 play. I'm fine with, but I'm a little concerned we don't have a turn 3 play after that, except maybe we just move this up to muck up the front line if it's open. All right, well, there's a potential turn 3 play. For now, we'll do that. Enemy draws an extra card, deal 4 damage, or do we just careless talk them out? We'll try for this. This might... Well, we'll see what they put down on their turn 2. But maybe we just move this up and play careless talk and pass. They probably know, right, like what that careless talk is up, but it doesn't really bother me. It's still going to deal 3 damage, right? Play another unit, destroy this unit. Okay, so I guess they just didn't want me to move up. That is fine with me. Excuse me. Do we do this anyways? Right? Or do we just Eagle Claws that thing? Trying to get value off of it, but... yeah, then it's still 2-for-1s us. I don't like that. Let's just pop this, and let's see what they do. I think they're going to attack into this and not deploy a unit. Because I think they probably know that we have Careless Talk. I usually assume that when people play this, that Careless Talk is the next card that's coming out. But we also have options later on. That works for me, man. So I like this. I like that too. This feels easier to throw away if it doesn't work out. Right, if we lose that, it's an ambush tank, but it is what it is. Now Careless Talk doesn't matter because if they deploy something, they destroy this anyways, and then this has gone basically paid for itself. It's gone card for card. Huh. So would I rather just kill that? Or trade with that. So if I don't kill it, right, it's just going to go off. So we just kind of let the excess sit around. I don't love that either. Am I thinking about this right? Eagle Claws doesn't do it. I don't think so. Then we have a choice for Careless Talk or this thing. I think we pop this. Because this has 1-up cost, we can move up and attack with it. If they have a Blitz unit and they get into the front, well, that Blitz unit is going to take 3 damage first. So, we'll see. I mean, they probably know because if I had 1 credit, why didn't I move that into the front line with ambush? Like, you want your ambush units in the front line. So they probably know. I wouldn't mind giving this thing +1/+1, right? Because the more damage it does. Yeah. So they were okay with just sacrificing that to play, I guess, whatever they want to play here. Yeah, I guess putting that on that. Oh, okay, you got Reich Research. It's a nice card. We got some options here, but I want to try to put some pressure on them. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll play that. We'll get a countermeasure. Yeah, I'm okay with that. A card for a card, and then we draw a card. So. You got something to blitz attack into it that they don't want to die? Not sure what that is. Oh, they just want all that stuff out. All right. I think it's hard to argue against Eagle Claws here and then moving up. Hold on. So if I play 4-3, then I have nothing to do. Then they know what I've done. Or we just put this stuff in the front line and Eagle Claw them. That's 1, 2. That's 5. And leaving ourselves with 2 doesn't do anything. So I think we're going to do that, and then we're going to do that. And we'll see what they come up with. They invested a lot in killing that. All right. Will they play a unit, though? Nope, they won't. All right. They sussed it out. Well, friend, we're going to do this for a while here. So we'll move, excuse me. Move that up. Draw ourselves a card. Not the best, but they'll probably have to come up with some throwaway unit they don't mind losing. But we still get to draw a card off of it, so it's fine. I guess they're looking for a big turn next turn. Oh my goodness. How many dive bombings does somebody need? I guess a lot. Okay. So they're definitely going to deploy something next turn, right? So we'll just preemptively put that up. We know what that does. I want this thing down too. Yeah, I think we do. Now, do we want to move this up? I think so, because this just feels like it should be throwaway unit. And plus, we're saving our armor up for the Panzer IIIF. Excuse me. 19 credits is a lot. Reich Research and Bomber Mafia. It was a good draft. I feel like we're playing mostly a lot of fairly mid cards here, but you did get rid of my frontline card. That was the one they had to be okay with losing to get bigger stuff out. All right, I got you. And they're gonna do that. What are you gonna do? Trade? And you got the Stug for. So you got a pretty fat back line there. Interesting. Interesting. So I think we do that. And do we put this down and then trade at the cost of 2 more? Oh, that thing does double damage against tanks. So let's give them fewer tank targets, I guess. We'll move that up, and that'll be that. My guess is they're going to trade here and then come up with the Fury. There's not too much I can do about that. We can play other things that aren't this, but yeah, that Stug is pretty nice. I think they also have, yeah, they do have tank maneuver. So we're in trouble here, and this must be the combo they were waiting for, is to get the Stug down. They got 2 of the Hankels. We've just not drawn very well at all. Yeah, I don't think we want that thing living, but we're almost dead here. Again, we're almost dead. So I think we have to do that. Let's see, we play 4, that's 7. That gives us a little bit. Let's see what our options are here. Okay. So if we do that, we go to 6, and then we can't play both. I think we take that, and we kill that. And then next turn, we just hope we get enough blitz tanks down. I'm not sure what to say. They might have... Oh, they got that. I forgot about that. That's rough. Oh, they got Aunt Frida too. That is brutal. That was absolutely brutal. And now that it has 6 toughness, I don't think there's anything we can do about it. This is like a horrendously bad draft. The game has been horrendously bad. Like, the draft itself felt fantastic. Yeah. Yep, and we are 2 credits short. This is like the story of my Kards career. Like 1 or 2 credits short of doing everything. That felt terrible. That felt like we had a much better deck than our opponent. I think we even drew reasonably well, and I just have no idea. I've been saying that a lot in recent games. It feels like we have better decks. We're not making a ton of mistakes, and we're still losing. So, I don't know if there's any lesson to take away from that, but it does happen. Well, we'll see. This might be the end of this draft. I cannot believe that this is a 1-3 deck. This does not feel like a 1-3 deck at all. This felt like a 5-6 win deck at a minimum, and it just ain't happening. I don't know that we have anything that's going to be good enough for those. Like, we've had good starts. We've had lots of card draw. Maybe the removal wasn't as good as I thought it was. That's a possibility. So this is, I like the card draw option, but it's expensive. And we have a lot of other things that cost. So we'll go with this. We have something to deal with air units and... So, excuse me, they got a bunch of... Yeah, I mean, that looks like something we'd like to trade with. That's just a question of, do we want to... We'll probably try to get the second countermeasure in our hand right now, so we know what our options are. I don't like that countermeasure, but it seems potentially okay. If they just move junk to the front line, though, it's, you know, that's what your 2 credit gotcha. It works for me, man. So, your units operate for 1 less. Oh. We could Eagle Claw them, right? We don't have the credits to do both, though. It's okay. So if we do Breakthrough, we can't do Careless Talk. So we'll do that. I guess they can still get out of it by just attacking, then attacking and trading. And then they still have this thing sitting around as a 1-1. Yikes. That was a pretty good draw. And they look like they're not going to have enough to play a unit out, so the best laid plans. Almost. We can't Nebelwerf in that, but we can. So we can kill this, and then it feels bad to use it that early, you know? But you know what? Eagle Claws kills that. Let's do it. Let's at least get that out of the way. And then would I rather... I'm just going to do this, even if they were going to play something out with around Careless Talk. If they do nothing and they just play orders or countermeasures, then Careless Talk is nothing. We might as well get 3 damage on the board. Okay. Huh. So you could attack this, then do breakthrough. That's 4, and then we would have 2 credits left. I think that's right. So we'll do that. We'll do that. Yes, you are being guarded. I get it. And now we'll try to get somebody with... I thought we put damage on that. When did they get health back on the HQ? Why do I not remember this? I really don't remember that at all. All right. I guess we do that. And we do that. I really don't... They must have gotten something. Huh. Seems like a lot. So this is the double damage against tanks. Yeah. Let's see what we can do for light. Okay, we'll take that one. We'll see if we can bait them up with that. This is gonna feel so bad if we go 1 and 3. You did that. Yeah, you did that. Why did you quit already? You have more cards in hand than I do, and your HQ is fine. I don't know. That seemed unnecessary. All right, we got an opponent. We either get 1 more loss or we get 5 more wins. So we'll see. We will see here, but all right. We got some HQ defense. Turn 3, 4. I don't think I want this, but I'm going to keep it there. All right. So they have a turn 1 play. Yeah, we don't... do that. I would think that card that this would be good if you're playing against a faction that is generally thought to have low toughness. That seems like the right play. I don't know if we play this in, we make this thing a 4-3. We take 2. No, we don't want to do it. We just want to trade into this. That's why when I have this card, I feel like I generally want to play this later after the enemy has developed the board a bit. Deal 2 damage to a random enemy. I am that random enemy. But yeah, we don't want that to stick around to do more damage, so we're just gonna trade through like that. Again, putting this out would have just dealt it a damage. So I think this is all we can do, is just hold them up. I mean, they can tell what we did because we took way too long to make that decision, so. Oh well. But I guess we play this 2-3 down and then just... yeah. Yep. So, alright, so this has ambush. So, I'll do this. We're kind of in that awkward spot where they can continue to 1-for-1 us and hit us with other things, and we're just going to be constantly on the back foot. That seems a little good, doesn't it? Am I like the only one who thinks that? The internet added 3 J's, otherwise destroy all units there. Wait, that costs 5 credits? Okay. Let us think about this here. Is that coming down next turn? I think we make the obvious play, right? Which is that. And then what do we do? Put this down, this draws us a card. It's at least a thing. I have no idea what to do with this. I'm open to suggestions, but a turn 5, 10, 9, I don't know what to do with. I can't even activate a bridge too far because I feel like they're going to know what it is. You've got to be kidding me. I'm dead. I'm just dead. I have no idea how you draft like this, but I'm dead. I mean, we could hit... Okay, so that I could do. Yeah. Unfortunately, all their armor just rolls up, and I'm still dead. Because I can't play this until next turn, and it's at the end of their turn. And so they're going to move all that stuff up. This has been just an... well, you know what? I am playing on a weekend afternoon where I think, in general, much better players play. Oh, I see. You're someone who talks in Kards chat. I get it. Okay. So we don't have anything else that can cause them to retreat, though retreating this thing would be great. But yeah, sometimes you just have all the luck in this game, man. So we can trade that, but we can't trade into other things. What is this? For each adjacent Japanese unit. Well, I could... Alright, I know you need attention. I know. You need male attention, but calm down there, buddy. So we're going to do... that into that, right? We do this into this. We do this and hope for something good. Well, that wasn't it, because we're still a turn off. But we're gonna try. But we're dead next turn anyways, so it doesn't matter, right? All that stuff in is 14. Yeah, that's that. This was a terrible... The draft was great. The draft was absolutely fantastic. I have no idea. I am learning, though, if you play during, like, the weekend afternoons NA time, it is sweat everything, even in draft. But I don't know with these cards how we would have done better. It doesn't feel like the play was that off. So the good news is it's a short video. And I don't know what takeaways you take from this, but hopefully you took away something.